up guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today, I'm super excited. I am featuring a new small business in the Twin Cities called Minnesota Nice Tots, which I think is just very cheeky. And it is all take and bake hot dish. I don't know how somebody hasn't done this already in the cities, because if you're from the cities, you know hot dish is like a very, very Minnesota thing. Basically a casserole with tater tots on top. I know people do it in different ways. I've actually never had a hot dish. This is my very first hot dish. I'm super excited. I saw somebody else, Fat Food, it's another account on Instagram, post about this saying that it's better than his and he thinks his is amazing. So I'm like, this feels like a good first hot dish to try before making my own. So let's go ahead and get started. I honestly have no idea which to use today. The Forking Love You fork or my mac and cheese spoon. Feels a little odd to use the mac and cheese spoon, but it might be the better vessel. We'll start with the fork and we'll see. No, you know, I kind of want to start with the spoon. So hot, it's piping hot. Oh God. That is stick to your ribs comfort food, 100%. So there's beef on the bottom. It looks like peas, onions. It kind of tastes like a homemade version of Hamburger Helper on the bottom, with like a layer of cheese on top of that and tater tots on top of that. Everything's really fatty, so definitely like a greasy situation, but perfect for winter especially. He said he's going to continue to do the take and bake every Saturday with the goal of opening up an all hot dish brick and mortar restaurant, which I think is just a fabulous idea, again, because Minnesota hot dish, they go hand in hand. How has nobody else done this yet? Oh my goodness. By the way, the spoon was definitely the right decision. Perfect vessel. There's just so many things that could fall through the cracks with the fork, I think. The like small pieces of meat. So yes, definitely going with the spoon for the rest of this. So well seasoned. I put on broil at the very end just to get a little bit of like crispiness, like golden brownness on the top. There's green beans in here, just about a green bean. They still have good texture to them too. So part 3, final part of the Peru story is us going back to Lima and spending a few days there. So we fly back to Lima and we stayed at the JW Marriott, and when we checked in, I told you guys before, vaccination cards required for anywhere indoors. So obviously hotels, restaurants, stores. So we went to check in and they were like, oh, we have you in a partial ocean view. And I'm like, oh, I will take a full ocean view, please. So we upgraded to an ocean room for like $35 more. And guys, 16th floor, I want to say, the most beautiful unobstructed ocean view ever. I mean, just full ocean. The room was absolutely stunning. It was incredible. Loved the JW Marriott. Really wish that they had been done with the lobby construction, which was kind of annoying, not gonna lie. But it looked like it's gonna be beautiful. So if you guys are planning on going there soon, it might even be done now. So our first day, we got there early afternoon, I want to say. So we ended up going to this food hall called Mercado 38. It was more or less a food hall, but it was kind of open air. So it was covered and somewhat enclosed, but not entirely. There were like open areas so that there was airflow, which was really nice actually. And I had the most amazing ceviche there. I actually, of course, Googled which places to go to within this little market. So I got there just like classic ceviche, which I just told you how they serve already. And it was so, so good using saltwater fish instead of freshwater fish because now we're on the coast. And then that night, we were supposed to try to go to this place called like Circus Bar, something like that. We go and they're not open. They just like weren't open that day. So we found a Japanese restaurant. So we went there. I had a Peruvian style nigiri, or just like Peruvian influenced nigiri with like ají amarillo on it. Oh my gosh, it was so delicious. They made me a carajillo, which I told you guys is the coffee-based drink, but they made it with like the traditional liquor 43. Had some other cocktails. They were like a craft cocktail place. It looked very impressive. And I want to say the place was called Osaka, like real original, I know. So I'll put it down here. It wasn't on any list. It was literally just because it was right next to this other place. So I don't know if it's like rated high, but we really enjoyed it actually. Some things that we tried were like just okay, but I really liked that nigiri. So hot. And then to cap the night off, we went to this place called Grimanesca Anticucheria, which is a place that specializes in cow heart, which is like really, really popular in Peru, apparently. So we wanted to try it. We heard it was like filet. So we went, we tried it. It was really, really good. There's like a few other places in the area that were also known for it. This was one of like the higher rated places. Oh, I think that's eggplant. Nope. Oh, it's a mushroom. We can't tell Shane about this. He'll just find out. I accidentally just swallowed the mushroom whole. P.S. guys, I got some interesting comments on this beanie, which I love, from Target. Most of the time when I'm wearing a beanie, it means my hair just not so good. So today was one of those days. I just popped a beanie on. I didn't even like this. I don't know what's happening on this side. This side looks different from this side. It's Saturday. Really well seasoned. Which I can't tell you how much I appreciate. So the next day, we decided to do a tour, but this time we did a bike tour instead of a walking tour, which was super cool. We saw Miraflores, which is where we were staying. It's where the JW Marriott was. And we saw Barranco, which is just south on the coast, a more bohemian vibe. There's a lot of street art, like painted art on walls and everything. Really cool. And they've got a lot of different restaurants and bars. So we did a bike tour there. And then we had dinner at Astrid y Gaston, which is Gaston Arcurio's flagship restaurant in Lima. So we went there, we had dinner. It was good. I wasn't like overly impressed with it though, if I could be honest. Like I really loved the ceviche and the tiradito. So I ordered both. Both are just like, well, ceviche is not raw, but like slightly cooked by acid. Ceviche, tiradito is just like a raw preparation. Loved those. Everything else was just kind of like, it was good, but it wasn't like earth shattering or anything. And that night, I don't know what it was, Shane got coca tea, which is like the leaves that they use to make cocaine. So he got that tea. I got another Carajillo decaf. And then we got back, I like couldn't go to sleep. To be fair, I was watching Ted Bundy, like the Ted Bundy tapes. I love a good true crime documentary. So I watched like the whole thing. And at 2:30 in the morning, I couldn't go to sleep. I was so worked up. I'm like, I don't know what to do. I couldn't figure out if it was from the coca tea because I sipped Shane's coca tea. Did they give me caffeinated instead of decaf? So I finally got to sleep, but once again woke up with a stomach ache. Like I just freaking couldn't win this trip with stomach problems. And so the next day, Wednesday, we had planned an excursion to take a boat off the coast to this island, this like rocky island, where there's all these sea lions and you jump in the water with them. And so normally I would even still be concerned because I get a little woozy when I'm on a small boat especially. I don't have as much problem with larger boats. But smaller boats, yeah, I have a little bit of problem. So already my stomach is like not feeling great. I had just run out of Dramamine and we had tried to get more the night before, but the pharmacy was closed and we were sort of in a hurry to get to the place that morning. And then they didn't have any Dramamine. And I was like, oh God, this is just gonna be a disaster. And the weather that day was like super dreary, ominous. The clouds were so low. It looked like you could almost like touch them. They were so low. It kind of reminded me of Alice in Wonderland when she goes through the keyhole and then she's like in a flood. The bird goes by and everything is just so like dreary. It was very like dreamlike like that when we're on this boat. So the first half of the boat trip was actually fine. It was smooth. I was just like trying to be able to see the horizon the whole time because that's how they say to like prevent seasickness. It's just like focus on something that's not moving, look at the horizon. But then we got to where this island was and it's like actually two islands next to each other. And once you kind of go into this environment in between these islands, the water conditions like completely changed. The waves were enormous and I was like, oh no, oh no. We pull up to the side of this freaking island. There are sea lions all over it. And guys, they were freaking terrifying. I don't know if it was just like the weather, what was going on. The noises that they make are so aggressive. It sounds like they are dying. That's what it sounds like. The worst sounds coming out of them. The smell, horrific, absolutely awful. So we pull up, smells terrible, sounds terrible, looks terrifying. Some of these guys are just freaking enormous. How they got up to where they were on this like rocky island, I have no frigging clue. Like, how did they just like wiggle themselves up there? Very impressed. So we get over there. The guide tells us, we're like on a boat with other people. He's like, all right guys, so we're gonna put on these wetsuits and the life jackets and we're gonna jump in over here. As he's saying that, I look down and see this like giant jellyfish in the water. And I'm like, hey, what about these giant jellyfish? He's like, oh, it's okay, we're gonna be over there. I'm like, this is all connected. I don't know what you mean. So very, very carefully, because I'm telling you guys, I was just on the cusp of getting sick, put on this wetsuit and reluctantly jumped into the water with the jellyfish and the sea lions. And he said to make sure you keep your feet up above the water, and that will make them like come over to you and not be threatened by you at the same time. So that's what I was doing. I was just like assuming the position in the water with my feet up, and this freaking sea lion popped up not 2 feet in front of me. Swear to God, it was the craziest thing to see this thing just like pop up and a few of his friends just like kind of swimming behind him. It was insane. Terrifying. Again, these friggin' noises they're making. Terrifying, but insane. So I'm glad I did it. While they're taking pictures, because this guide goes around and like takes pictures of everybody, like with the island and hopefully like all the sea lions in the back. While he's doing that for us, he actually took a video, which I will put right here. For your entertainment. God help me. While he's doing that, we think a sea lion comes and touches our feet and we're like, oh God, oh my gosh. No, it was in fact a jellyfish. So we get out of the water. I'm like, oh my gosh, my ankles are burning. All I could think of is the Friends episode, who's gonna pee on me? Luckily, that pain subsided like really quickly. I was shocked, absolutely shocked. But within like moments of getting back on the boat, I was like, I am not lasting more than another minute without getting sick. So inevitably, I did violently off the side of the boat, which was kind of embarrassing. I felt really bad for everybody else. They had to like be there and listen to me. It was just awful. The rest of the day, needless to say, didn't go anywhere else. We decided, I just like went back, took a shower, got in bed. I lost weight on vacation. Like, that has never happened to me. The next day was our last day, and we went to the park, which was Kennedy, John F. Kennedy Park, which is where there's like a bunch of cats that live. So there's all these cats that just live at this park, and there's a volunteer group that comes and feeds them. So they feed them wet food and dry food. They'll leave the wet food like next to their head. I posted it to my Instagram and people thought it was like not food, and I'm like, no, they're just feeding them and making it convenient, you know? And then they'll put like big things of dry food just like scattered around. These cats are well fed, they're well groomed, they're like grooming themselves, they are living the life. There's like all these flowers everywhere, they're just like laying amongst the flowers. I was so happy for all of them. And we went when there were all of these vendors there, so I got to try a rose con leche, which is rice pudding essentially, and these donuts called picarones. Please correct me if I'm not saying that right. And they were served with this like syrup almost. I don't know if it was honey or agave or what they were using, but really, really good. A little bit chewier than a standard donut, nice and crispy on the outside. They were deep fried. Then we went to this other park that had the most stunning trees. And honestly, I have no idea what kind of trees they were, but they were almost like fairy tale trees. They had these really thick trunks, but they were like short. And there were tons of them. It was a park too, so a lot of people go and like sit on benches and just like look at the majesty of all these beautiful trees. So that's what we did. We just went and sat and relaxed. And then I wanted to go to this ceviche place. It looked amazing. It was called La Mar. It was recommended to us by our friends. It said the atmosphere was stunning. I really wanted to go there, but my stomach, I was just still like struggling. So Shane wanted another lomo saltado. Oh, but here's Shane. Shane wanted more lomo saltado, so we went to this other place that I had pinned, which I can also give you the name of. I believe it was El Bodegón de Miraflores. Yeah, pretty sure that was what that was. So we went, we had that. Shane had this soda, this Peruvian soda. It is like bright yellow, like neon yellow. It looks like battery acid. Tastes like a combination of cotton candy and bubble gum. Really, really weird, but they love it there. Inca Cola. Inca Cola, that's what it's called. I tried it, way too sweet for me. I am way more like a lemon and lime type person. The overly sweet stuff I can't do, and that is just, it tastes like straight sugar, guys. Straight sugar, they love it. We didn't have to leave till like 9 o'clock at night to get to the airport, because our flight was at like 11:55, so midnight, and we were gonna fly all night. Thankfully, I slept the whole way home on the plane. Oh my gosh, what a relief. I woke up and I was like, ah, we're here. So you guys did have some questions for me with regards to Peru. The first I think I've probably already answered, which was what was my favorite thing that I ate there? And it was definitely the ceviche. I absolutely loved it. It was so fresh, so light. I loved the different textures that they added to it, even the sweet potato. Oh my gosh, the choclo. It's very starchy corn, but I really, really enjoyed it with the ceviche, the red onion. Oh my gosh. Did you ever feel not safe? So the first day that we got to Peru, I was nervous because we were going to be in the historic district, and I wasn't sure about the historic district. Miraflores, I heard, was pretty safe, very touristy area, whatever, but I wasn't sure about the historic district. So I left my rings. I mean, actually, I like took them off earlier this week and like haven't left the house, so I haven't put my rings back on, but I assure you I'm still married. But when I was out, I didn't feel unsafe. There are unsafe areas. We went to a soup restaurant that I actually really, really liked. Oh wait, it was like a number, wasn't it? Siete sopas. Like 7 soups, siete sopas. And you had the just like chicken noodle, right? You had chicken noodle. mine had spaghetti in it, and it was like, it was a broth, but it was like a tomato, like cream based broth. Really, really good. So definitely recommend that. That area though, I suspect might have been, or an area like that is where I suspect my other friend who went to Peru when she was younger might have been mugged. So just be wary of maybe some like, maybe more low income residential areas. Don't be like walking around with anything that looks expensive. You know, the normal stuff in a country that you aren't familiar with. Make sure you have pictures. I know Shane is going to say something to me about this because I don't have them, but he does because he's very responsible. Photos of your passport and all of the things just in case something is stolen so that you have, you know, all of your information and like proof. Oh, somebody wanted to know how much we spent on the trip. I'm not going to discuss airfare because that would be different just depending on where you're coming from, what time of year you're going, when you buy your ticket. There's just too many factors. Overall, it was really inexpensive to go food-wise, hotel-wise, like all of the things that you buy while you're there are less expensive. We went with like $1,000 in American money. And I think we ended up just spending that. Like we were just using cash, like as much as we could the whole time we were there. So we spent $1,000, and that was not including our hotels or things like the Machu Picchu, what did I just say? The Machu Picchu excursion. That wasn't including, I think, the bike tour. There were some things that we just like bought online to do. So it depends what you do while you're there, what kind of Machu Picchu itinerary you make for yourself. How much did our Machu Picchu tickets cost? So you said like 500, and that's obviously US dollars, right? So $500 US, which included our bus tickets, our train tickets, our other bus tickets, our entrance into Machu Picchu, and our tour guide while we were at Machu Picchu. So it included a lot of things, and it was a full day, and it's like just absolutely incredible. So I think that I'm gonna call it for today. I am definitely feeling satisfied at this point. And somebody commented in one of my last videos saying, you know, I always say I'm so hungry and then I don't eat a whole lot. I assure you that I am eating until I feel comfortable still, until I feel satisfied. I don't want to stuff myself. I don't want to feel away, like just to be eating like a certain amount for the camera. And I think it's super, super important, guys, to never promote other people to overeat. I don't care if it's a mukbang. Like we should normalize more people doing mukbangs where they eat normal amounts of food. Like it is not good to promote people going beyond, like overindulging regularly. It's just not. So if you're one of those people, just like try to think about what you're doing and what that's doing to that other person. I am just not gonna do that here. So I know there's a lot of other people that do. So if you are looking for somebody like that, there's like tons of other channels for you. You don't really need to waste your time here. All right, guys. Well, oh, I almost forgot. They gave me freaking the name of this place, Minnesota Nice Tots Take and Bake Hot Dish. She gave me some shirts. So they are selling shirts. Hopefully they will be able to open up. You want a shirt, babe? There you go. Thank you so much again to Minnesota Nice Tots for providing the hot dish for today's episode, today's video. I don't think we call these episodes, do we? I am so happy to have tried my first hot dish. I will 100% be making my own. So keep an eye out for my hot dish that I will of course be putting some kind of a spin on. Thank you guys so much for watching today. I just really appreciate you guys coming and showing support to me. I wouldn't be able to do what I do without you guys, so thank you for choosing to spend some of your valuable time with me. Comment below what you thought of this hot dish video. I am planning on doing some more local Twin Cities food, especially right now because they just put a mandate in place that people can't go to restaurants unless they show proof of vaccination or a negative COVID test, which I know is just going to really kill some restaurants. I don't have any problem showing documentation when I go to someplace, but I think it should be the decision of the restaurants and not a political thing for each restaurant to be able to make these decisions themselves. So we'll see if it lasts, but for now, January and February are really hard months for restaurants, and I am going to be trying to showcase some more of these small businesses slash restaurants in the near future. So if you are in the Twin Cities, comment below your favorite places that you think especially could use some extra love right now, and I will check them out and see if we can do something with it. All right, guys, thank you so much again for joining, and I will see you guys next time.